We've seen how the long-term drought is impacting crops, but there's something else to tell you about. We're shaping up to see a lot of grasshoppers this summer.
We had an extended fall with extended egg lay of any surviving grasshoppers. We've typically had very dry, warm springs, which also favors survival of the eggs that are laid in the ground. So in pockets around the state, we are seeing, pretty heavy grasshopper populations.
OSU Extension entomologist Tom Royer uses a sweep net, not to count grasshopper populations, but to check for individual size.
We really want to have you focus on controlling grasshoppers, especially if you're going to use a product like Dimilin, when they're anywhere from a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch long, and they're still pretty small, because Dimilin affects the molting process of the grasshoppers. So you want to make sure you catch them when they're in that stage. But the key is get them when they're little, between now and July 1st, before they sprout wings and they start moving around. They're much bigger, they're much harder to kill by that time.
Once the insects reach a saturation of 20 per square yard in a pasture setting, Royer looks at control methods.
One of the things to keep in mind is that grasshoppers will eat 50% of their body weight every day in forage. When you compare that to a cow, they'll eat 1.5 to 2% of their body weight a day. So you can basically think of 30 pounds of grasshoppers being equivalent to, say, a 350 to 600 pound steer in terms of the amount of forage they're going to eat in a day. So high populations can cause real problems in a pasture. We do have a system called the Reduced Agent and Area Treatment that we call RAT, that allows you to strip spray a field with a product like Dimilin or maybe Prevathon, where you can apply a low rate, spread it on 50% of your pasture, and you're taking advantage of a grasshopper's tendency to migrate around and feed in different areas. And you can probably reduce populations by 80 to 85%, and you're only using 50% of the insecticide you'd use if you sprayed the whole field.
And row crops are threatened by grasshoppers too, especially soybeans and corn.
One of the things you can do right now is if you have a field of a summer crop, look around the bar ditches and the roadside ditches and see if you have any grasshoppers hatching in those areas. Typically they will be concentrated in those areas of the next to the field, and you can sometimes go ahead and spot spray or just spray the road ditches and knock down grasshopper populations so they won't start migrating into your field. But again, the best time to catch them is when they're small and coming out of their hatching areas, before they spread out all the way through your field and you have to spray the whole field.
For more information on grasshoppers and control methods, look for fact sheets in the links section of our website, sunup.okstate.edu.